If you miss the tax deadline, Javis Tax Service can help. There are certain circumstances that allow for a tax extension without additional fees. We can let you know if you qualify for this service. If you still need to file, we can get the paperwork in quickly and ensure that all fees or penalties are met. It's better to file late taxes than not file at all to avoid garnishments. Use Javis Tax Service to help get your tax filed quickly and correctly. For more information to set up a free consultation, call Javis Tax Service at 803-851-7112. That's 851-7112.
Oh, I can't hear nothing. Well, I can hear, but it's slow. It's all right. Welcome everybody to show number 28. Of course, you see that we are here at Studio Arts Building here at Word of God Church and Ministries. Thank Dave for Dave and Darren give us the opportunity to make things happen here at Freethinkers Radio. On the table today, we got Chris.
What's good?
We got Wabi.
Glad to be back with you.
We got Opie.
What's up?
And the new kid on the block. He is a student at Dustford High School, and we're glad for him to be here tonight. Steve, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. He's studying broadcasting, so we're going to get him straight today. See how things work out. But at the same time, we're glad that everybody's here tonight. Today, we'll talk about, of course, the NFL protest that's going on so far within all of our sports, especially here in the NFL, and NBA's talking about it and so forth. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We'll have a guest. He's the pastor of Word of God Church and Ministries, Pastor Barnes. So he will be joining us about the discussion about what's going on so far in the NFL. And then we're going to talk about the latest news in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony going to Oklahoma City. Then D-Wade going to Cleveland. I'm sure Opie got some comments about that.
About what?
See, there you go. So, of course, we'll talk about all that tonight. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So far, let's talk about some pick six topics here. Over the weekend, we had high school game day in Westwood Country. Dustford.
High school route day.
You want to say it like that? Wow. Dustford defeated Westwood 67-7.
Wow.
Yeah. Steve, you was there, of course.
Oh yeah.
You in the student section. You the hype man there. Tell me what your opinion about what happened on Friday.
So after we lost to Fort Dorchester,
go ahead.
After we lost to Fort Dorchester, like the second week of the season, the players were kind of talking to me about it. They're like, we need to bounce back strong. And so after that, they've won their last two games by a combined margin of 100 points. Bryce Thompson came back from a shoulder injury, and so he's playing in the backfield. And so the game plan is just get him the ball in as many ways as possible, and he's going to do something with it.
Yeah. And just seeing what happened, 50-0 at halftime, is, I won't say unheard of if you're talking about, the level of talent between one team and another team, but this was clearly a domination.
Yeah, it was supposedly a matchup between number 3 team and number 8 team in 5A, so you weren't expecting that kind of blowout.
This is like, if you watch Game of Thrones, the Red Wedding episode, that's what occurred on the field Friday night. Yeah. That's the best way I can put it.
It was
a massacre.
I mean, big ups to Coach Curtis. He's turned that program around, but at the same time, it was like men versus boys out there. Bryce Thompson, he was Lewis Simpkins, played the game on Friday night, so congratulations to him, and we're looking forward to see what they could do once they reach the playoffs. And then for Westwood, they continue. They still got a great season ahead of them. So we're looking forward. Actually, we're going to be seeing them later on in the season when they take on Ridgeview. So we're going to be seeing them when they take on the Blazers at Spirit Communications Park in a couple of weeks. Speaking of Ridgeview, we'll be broadcasting on a Thursday night, not Friday night, but on a Thursday night. And South Point Stallions coming down, the number 1 team in the state.
Yep. Number 8 team in the nation.
Yeah.
According to the USA Today poll as well.
Yeah,
big time program they got up there.
Yeah, I think this would be a better competition when Ridgeview and South Point take on each other. So.
Yeah, Ridgeview's number 7 in the state, so they should provide good competition, 4-1 on the season.
Yeah, they got good players as in Bernard Porter, Trayshawn Jett, Javon Addison. So we look for a great matchup. We also going to talk to Coach Parks later on the show. He'll be talking about his preparations for this Thursday's game against the Stallions. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But like I said, Thursday night will be at Ridgeview when they take on South Point. So make sure you be looking out for us. And we'll be going live at 7 o'clock for the pregame and 7:30 for the radio podcast. So looking forward for that.
Yeah, South Point's got Clemson commit quarterback Darian Kendrick. He's going to be wide receiver at Clemson, but 6'1", 195, and number 3 player in the state. And they've got Stephen Gilmore, number 20 rated player in the state. And so they've got.
I know you're happy about that,
yeah,
Bobby. That's a Christmas.
Rich get rich.
Anybody's happy. Yeah, he's happy.
Like they need more players right now. They take it. All the good talent.
Always use good players.
In the NBA news, if some of y'all did hear, if y'all been high on the rock, Carmelo Anthony is going to Oklahoma City. He joins Paul George, Westbrook, Adams, and all the other talented guys right there. So, what do you think, Opie?
It's a good move. I don't think so. I think they're with Damian Lillard, his mentality is, we have enough. We just need people to step up, and both of them, him and CJ, got the big max contracts. They're very young, very young. I think Ed Davis is now the veteran that everyone is talking about. You got Noah Vonleh, you got all those wings. They got Evan Turner's now a vet. They look good. I just think they wasn't ready. Like that. Honestly, that was it.
They had time to gel together.
But you still got.
They had chances too.
You got young players, and like I said, this is what you'll see with. These are you guys like, Melo. They step in and they make the pressure not so surmount. When you got Lillard and really C.J. McCullough, the pressure still surmount. Like your shot does count. When you talk about going and playing with James Harden, who going to take 30, 40 shots, your shot is insignificant. You know what I'm saying? If you miss, you make it. He's going to take the bulk of the shots. Chris Paul is going to take 15, 20. He's going to make 9, because he's so efficient. So when you got a team, I think that's what I was telling you, when you got a team like that, it makes you better when you go into the gym, because now you want to make these shots. So now, you make the floor spacing greater. So it's interesting to see. Like I say, the champs are still the champs. And my eye has always been on the Spurs, because I feel like Kawhi is always overlooked. I think he is, if not the best player, he is number 2 to me.
If he doesn't get injured this past they
win.
Playoff series.
Yeah, they win.
You still got watch out for Leonard, and you got Aldridge, which he's still there, of course. But Popovich,
y'all found Aldridge?
Yeah, he's still there.
We'll see. But they got Rudy Gay. Okay. They got Rudy Gay cheap. Okay. They got Rudy Gay, so he got a 4-3 that can handle the ball, that can spread the floor. Hopefully, he comes and just does what he does. If he can just do what he does, the rest will be all right. So
and still you got Popovich who make things happen for the Spurs. So they got all the talent they can. Well, not talent. They got good coaching to make things happen.
They got enough. They got guys that understand the system, and they're not going to do more than they can do, and they're not going to go outside of their shell. My interesting pick would be, what does Cat do from him? What does Wiggins do? And what does Minnesota with all those old Bulls? You got Taj Gitz. I mean, most
speaking of the Bulls, Wade left the Bulls to the Cavaliers.
He's headed to the land. So
yes,
you Cleveland fans, please enjoy and cherish these last 2-3 years.
Cavaliers, they
we get another ring this year.
LeBron is the part owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, so
that's okay. Yeah.
So he wants his player. And I don't know. It's like with Dwayne being there now, they could probably make some things happen. I just think they are missing some key pieces to making a chance to beat Golden State.
I think they ran up a team that was hot. I mean, that's
by the way, he doesn't make them younger. That's
no,
absolutely not. And getting Isaiah Thomas is not going to help either.
Oh, yes, it is.
No,
not defensively.
It is.
Not defensively.
No. Just watch.
We'll see.
Hey, I give you that, but we got Jay Crowder.
It's like having another James Harden.
We got Jay Crowder.
He still can't guard. He can't guard.
He can shoot, but don't play defense at all.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a late game situation, is Derrick Rose your starting point guard?
Derrick Rose might be in the hospital by the time the season starts.
I will not have you disparage that name. And we're talking about defense. It's not like Kyrie played that much defense. Let's be real here.
Right.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Kyrie had a chance to lead the team now. He's with Boston. And he got some key points around him, so we might see a little change in Kyrie. But of course, you don't want to say nothing about that.
You gonna say about you gonna talk about everybody's team except them Sixers, huh?
Oh yeah. What's your bold prediction, Marcus? We gonna go
at first. I said 3. I told Steve
he said they were gonna be in a 3 seed out.
But I will drop them down.
That Sunday morning service was good.
Hey, he done had enough of that communion wine. Listen,
I say
gotta have hope.
He was praying for
I say
real.
at least 7 or 8. That's my prediction. 7 or 8. Charlotte will be in the playoffs this year too.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk more about this at the last say. Coming up next, we're gonna have Pastor Barnes who will join us with this discussion with the NFL protest that's going on and taking the knee. Is it
Uncle Remus?
Yeah, Uncle Remus. We're gonna talk about all that too. So make sure to stay tuned right here on the Walk Ons. You listen to Freethinkers Radio.
3. You really said Philadelphia was gonna be 3.
3 seed.
This ain't live 2K18 where you can cheat.
I feel good about that.
Why?
The 3 seed. This ain't creative player, none of that. Like
you can't mess the attributes up and like who? Yeah, call him first.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that Whitney Houston Star Spangled Banner in the Super Bowl performance. Huh? No, that Marvin Gaye would take up the whole show.
The remix.
Yeah, he did do that for like 2
the show. The show will be done by the time we'll be able to talk again. Welcome back to the Walk Ons Radio Show. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're on Snapchat. Chris, am I forgetting something?
Instagram, iHeartRadio.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Twitch, Niche, Snitch, all that stuff. So make sure you follow us at the Walk Ons Radio and all that good stuff. We would love to hear from you. On the show today, we have from IJS Dre. He's also a military vet, and he is the pastor of Word of God Church. Well, not the pastor of Word of God, but he is a minister of Word of God Church and minister. Yeah, I got to make sure I say it the right way. Pastor Barnes joins on the show from IJS Dre. Pastor, how you feeling, man? Pastor Barnes, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, how you feeling, man?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. We're going to have a discussion today about the NFL protests and so forth. And, of course, it's not no hidden news. It's not, no secret. The NFL players are taking the knee. And this all started from what, the president of the United States said about what he said in Alabama about, players, whoever that take a knee, they need to be fired. I'm not going to say exactly what he said.
SOB.
Yeah, that. But of course, he can say it. Yeah, he can say it, but at the same time, we can say it on our show, but he can say it out loud on the national networks. But, my opinion about this is this. Colin Kaepernick had been doing this for 14 months, exactly. This has been going on since Obama was in administration, and even Obama weighed in on this when he was president, saying like, people have their freedom of speech, and they can do what they need to do. When you get to today's era, when Trump says, you have to stand and respect the country and the flag, it's not because of he wants to disrespect the flag. He's just making a point about police brutality. And from what he said that night, it changes the whole meaning, especially in today's world, what's going on. Because just a few days prior, he was attacking Stephon Curry, of all people, and Golden State told him he can't come to the White House. So all that, ironically, going back to back to back in the sports world, one in the NBA and now in the NFL, it's just like a domino effect of what's going on, like how people feel about his stance on racial justice.
Well, let me just chime in. First of all, Steph Curry to say he is not invited to the White House. Curry was already not going to the White House, so it doesn't make sense to like so-called uninvite somebody that wasn't coming to your party in the first place. The second thing is, if I could, you ask someone for a veteran perspective. This is my perspective. I've served my country for 12 years, and we were responsible to guard our country against all of all enemies, both foreign and domestic. That means away from us and in our, anything that comes in. The jeopardize our Constitution for the United States. We fought for freedom of speech, religion, freedom of press. Yeah, we fought for these civil liberties. We all fought for them. The thing that I'm thinking, Stephen A. Smith the military, the NFL actually contracted with the military to try because a certain year there was no national anthem, no standing, all the regalia, the planes flying over, and all that stuff. I thought it was going on until late 90s. But everybody knows that the issue is not the flag. The contract is not standing against the flag. He was reading against the oppression of the people who come with themselves and not reading who there was an injustice. But if you buy the ink by the barrel, you can always flip the story. Mm-hmm. So what is happening is they master flipping the story to make it about the flag to cover up the injustice. To cover up that there's police brutality. This is not against all police officers. This is against injustice. And then for people to be so arrogant to say, if you don't like it, you just shut up and play basketball, shut up and play football. What they're really saying is entertain us, boy. You don't voice it on our stage. Well, your stage if I'm making you all the money. That's our stage.
Now he did say some time ago, I want to say in 2012, when the Redskins was going through their issue about changing their name. And he said that, there's bigger issues that needs to be focused on instead of focusing on what the NFL does. Now we at this point, and he's known for, I'm surprised we talk about Trump on the sports network right now. But at the same time,
why not?
Politics and sports is.
But he's a businessman. So you got to think 7 of those guys, seven of those owners, endorse Trump.
Sports is politics. Yeah, sports is politics. What are you talking about?
Yeah, sports is politics.
You about the
the committee who gets on, who gets the share of those rights for the So, come on, man. But the biggest thing is 7 of those owners endorse Trump. They paid money to see that Trump, big money to see that Trump get in the White House. Shannon Sharp touched on the point. You got the lowest ratings ever. You're talking about we're about to start training camp in the NBA, and the NBA is the headlines all over. It's not football. It's not who's this. It's the NBA. We're talking. It was a whole segment on LeBron, Kevin Durant. You go down the list of all the NBA players. The NBA is taking over. It's becoming the number one. So you got somebody that's in the White House who is a marketing genius. No matter how he acts, everything is done for a reason. Why would those guys take knees? You just had Ray Lewis get on there
on both knees
and say he would never disrespect the flag.
He said deliberately and loud and clear that he would never.
And he was on both knees.
You had the running back for Buffalo Bills, you had
LaShawn McCoy.
You had Jerry Jones, coming against them, coming against that same behavior when he started to say money. You know what I'm saying? He started talking about their. Now, can I ask y'all a question? Because I don't even know how y'all see military perspective. Military perspective for me. Maybe other deputies feel the same way. We fought to have those rights. We fought to have the rights. And I think that if you're using you think of a flag, to take patriotism for injustice. We were highlighting the flag. I don't see nobody going after David Luke for running a flag. I don't see nobody when they have these other rallies. I didn't hear the president say anything. He didn't tell them that. So they just started deals. They didn't really people there. So we follow those same people in Charlotte deal, like we fight for those people that are around to be able to have their right to protest freedom. But I got a question. I want to throw this in and let y'all. I want to listen. Now, ready for the question?
Sure.
Did the NFL really take a stance against Donald Trump? Did they really take a stance against injustice, or did them guys, Ray Lewis and Mahomes, say they wouldn't do it? They took a knee because Master said it was okay this time.
They took a knee because it was, what's the word?
They were pushed into a corner by Trump's comments.
It made you know how
we're not going to be pushed around.
No, but that's how it seems.
You missed the question.
Ben Roethlisberger said a good point. He said we was standing 20 feet behind the center, 74, who served 3 tours in Iraq. He said, but it seemed like we didn't have our teammates back, but we was right there behind him, supporting him as he stood for the flag because we support him.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin wanted to be unified in the position.
So that whole point is, I think it seems like they're taking a stance, but you have to ask yourself, what are they taking a stance?
At the end of the day, I don't buy none of it.
Yeah,
this is all about the shield and protecting the shield from the NFL. Donald Trump's not going to tell us billionaires what we're going to do with our money. They don't like being told what to do. So since you're going to tell us we need to fire these people, we need to do this, no, we're going to do it our way, and this is how we're going to do it. It's not about it.
LeBron came at all, but he came back pretty strong, yo. You have to respect that young man. He came out pretty strong and with intelligence. And that was articulate. That was expressive. Even though the people of Cleveland voted for Trump, he still had a voice.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I just feel like Popovich. I think we're a big disappointment and embarrassment.
Oh yeah, the leaders see this around the world and they say, well, y'all getting way out deserved right now.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. They've got a boycott being organized on November 12th, Veterans Day weekend. It said boycott the NFL weekend. So.
We're going to continue this conversation after this, get done this commercial break, so stay tuned right here on the Walk Ons. Hey, Pastor Barnes.
Yeah.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I know you got your headset on, but it has like a echo. Did you get off that headset?
Okay.
Yeah, because it echoes pretty good. So
echo.
Okay, I'll do that.
Echo.
What we'll do, guys, is
So you look like Justin Bieber.
Talk to Coach Parks.
I'm loving all that now.
We're gonna talk to Coach Parks for the last say.
For the last say.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yo, hey Dre.
Hello.
What's going on?
There we go. You hear me?
It's crazy down in this country.
I got you. We try to get you set up because it sounds like you was in the stadium by yourself. I say you had your headset on, but it sounded like you was in the stadium by yourself just now.
How many followers are on the show tonight?
You said what again?
How many followers? What kind of feedback y'all getting?
I think Chris is watching that now, so we're going to see that in a minute. Welcome back to the Walk Ons. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, all that good stuff. Make sure you send your comments, send your questions. If you got questions about tonight's show or any sort, make sure you send that in now. We're also on iHeartRadio and iTunes, so make sure you follow us on our podcast. We got episodes from the very first show to the current one you probably listen to now, so make sure you share that with everybody. Make sure you get everybody out there, let everybody know about the Walk Ons. Anybody miss anything else, Chris?
iHeartRadio, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook Live, Twitch.
So you just go repeat what I said.
Live, everything, yeah. Make sure we're drilling into people's heads. Like, you let them know where they can find us. Everywhere.
I got you. Once again, we got Pastor Barnes on the show. He's from IJS Dre. We have this discussion about the NFL protests and about this whole taking knee ordeal, about what's going on. Well, people is fair to understand. And we're going to wrap this up in this segment here. What people is fair to understand is that the WNBA, they have been doing this for ever since Kaepernick took a knee. And that was like 14 months ago, like I said. And so they've been doing this for the whole season. They've been taking a knee. They've been wearing the shirts. Some of them even stay in the locker rooms. And it's just now getting to the spotlight of what they're doing because what the NFL is doing. And, you know, just the whole ordeal of knowing what the whole purpose is for this, people is misconstruing the messages of why is this the issue. And just like what I talked to Dave on yesterday about, you know, what people are trying to understand, Sarah Huckabee, the person that's the secretary for the staff for the White House, saying that the message was changed. Well, who changed it? Trump is the one that said that he disrespected the flag for taking a knee, but they try to make a point about what's going on. And now we got people that supported him, from Draft, the owner for the Patriots, to Rex Ryan, who clearly support you from the very beginning, saying they are disappointed, but at the same time, that is a double standard. You knew what was coming to the White House when you supported them. You knew what was going to happen when you paid millions of dollars to endorse them and to pretty much advertise him, saying that, hey, you will be the president if you come do this, you know? So it's all a business move, because they know if they don't say nothing or do nothing about it, it will reflect on their team.
Well, speaking of the business end, if you just go back and look at the national anthem history, it used to be the players would stay in the locker room, and then the fans would be there for the national anthem. After 9/11, they said, we can grab some ratings points. All the players can come out, be united. You know, we're all united together after 9/11 against terrorism, you know, supporting the flag. And it was great to grab some ratings points.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, there's threatening the boycott on November 12th. Ratings might be going down. So the NFL may be looking at, well, let's go back to the way we used to do it.
But who's really not going to watch a football game?
Yeah,
one way or the other, you going to watch the football game.
The big time fans are going to be there.
Yeah.
It's just the the fringe middle and the casual fans is what this is all about.
So again, Pastor Barnes, you breaking up a little bit. If y'all don't know, Pastor Barnes in the country, so got that Sprint Sprint signal. Hopefully, he'll still be able to hear us.
Text us your question.
Yeah, you might need.
I'm going to go ahead and listen in. Y'all take it.
I got you.
All right.
Because you breaking up a little bit, Pastor Barnes.
Got to get him in studio next time.
Oh yeah,
we got to get you in the studio.
Jump in with us.
But as I was saying, for people that believes that this is because of they want to disrespect the country and disrespect of what true loyalty is to your country, is completely wrong. Just like what we just played for the Whitney Houston Star Spangled Banner. If you look at the whole video during that Super Bowl, everybody was patriotism, waving the flag. Everybody was happy. That's what true unity.
And that was just right after Desert Storm as well. So
that was during the was it the Persian Gulf War?
When it's that 91, 92 Buffalo versus New York Super Bowl.
And then after 9/11, same exact thing. Disaster happened, but at the same time, everybody came together and supported one another. Now, in this situation where there's issues arising because of racial tensions,
division. Yep.
There's a lot of division.
Yeah,
and that comes from statements from what he is saying. That's like. I don't know how to say it.
But the thing about Trump is he just doubles down and he gets real angry and he goes to Twitter and he makes these comments when.
And that's not what's happening right now. No. I'm not a person. I'm not very political, but I do know what's going on, and I do know that the leader that's in the office or any kind of leader that needs to be able to support your team, support your staff, be a leader, and have people. See who you are. Like, this is supposed to be the person you're supposed to follow.
Man, look, this is the whole thing. If somebody die in your family, you don't go, oh man, sorry to hear that. Oh, you got any food? Really? I mean, so you're not addressing the issue. The issue is Colin Kaepernick. The whole thing is Colin Kaepernick a knee because of what his belief was, whatever it was, sky pink, blue, green. But it's his belief. Somebody had a problem with it, but the whole notion of when we say blacks are dying at an alarming rate, we're being incarcerated at an alarming rate, you ignore that. So it's like, at what point...
There's a lot of stuff going on in Puerto Rico right now.
I mean, just in the world, period, just in general. So at what point, so your view is greater than mine because of what? And then that's when you get into this big storm, but what people do not want to address. Leaders, whatever. Like, everybody got their own stance, their own view, but the whole notion is until we get together and get in the room and be uncomfortable with each other and feel you get the sweaty hands and address the issue at hand of this race situation, of the division of the race, of how they made it that way, of whatever. If I go back in time, if I go back from the Boston Tea Party to when they was bringing the immigrants over from Ireland and all the way over there, and it was, you know, everybody's an immigrant, but yet it's so much that gets thrown at the blacks and the Mexicans at. Like, why? Like, we're all an immigrant. Nobody came, like, outside our generations, but nobody.
American Indians.
It's up to American Indians. So, like, but it always because of slavery, because nobody's never answered that. Nobody's never owned up to it, fessed up to it. Hey, okay. Nobody's never addressed the elephant in the room. So until it's addressed, it will be problems, because as a whole, we are a family. And that is something that is a ticking time bomb. And as blacks, I always say and somebody told me that we march, nothing happens. Nothing happens. We protest, nothing happens. So when are we gonna get until and that's why you got with the Black Panthers, you have the FBI director doing what he did because he thinking ahead. Oh, this can be something dangerous. You take it's at the end of the day. What are you gonna do? Like, it's enough talk. Like, you do something. You make action. So that's the whole point of these rich billionaires taking a stand. It wasn't about they wrong or they felt wrong or whatever. It was just about.
I won't say disagree, but you saw Jerry Jones' face.
It really
he
was.
Didn't want to take a knee.
It was about something else. It was about something else. And that's the whole point. Like, I don't like if it fits where I'm not into precise arguments, because that's the whole point. Why are we getting into that? Because the whole thing is skewed for what we're supposed to be talking about.
It's what you can relate to.
Yeah.
When they took the knee, it's something that affected and related to them. They can see themselves involved in this. When people donate for natural disasters or things happen, doesn't matter how much money I have, I can see myself in this because this can happen to me or anybody.
Yeah.
When it's issues of race, it's uncomfortable conversation, and no matter what race you are, you're not the opposite race. So if something happens, sometimes you're not necessarily able to put yourself in that position.
No, but people do.
You don't want to.
No, but they don't. It's they don't want to, or they're like, well, it isn't. I wouldn't do that if I. But
exactly.
Like, how would you know if you're not? You never been put in that situation.
Exactly.
You never been in these shoes.
Exactly.
You never been presented these circumstances. You never been put behind the wall. Like but Trump just says 45 says some stuff like just.
45. I like that.
He just says stuff that's not very intelligent of a man that is intelligent. Like he just says stuff that is buffoonery. You're baffled
He makes adversarial relationships more adversarial than they need to be.
And I said this before we go to commercial. I said
he wants to win and he wants to beat you and he wants to beat you down instead of let's come out and talk about it and try to work something out.
That says a lot about our country. It does. When Obama was in office, man, they really disrespected that man. But yet Trump in office, it's okay.
We'll be back on the Walk On. Stay tuned.
I don't know. I rather talk about leeches or something. But what's going on? It's nobody's gonna do nothing about it. Like it'd be old news. Like, you better off talking about relief fund for what's going on in Houston and what happened in Puerto Rico. Like,
exactly.
Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. What are you gonna do? Get the people out of the Senate that's really making the rules and the changing and stuff in the government. Then you have progress.
What we got here? Coach Fry?
Coach Sparks.
Fry.
All right.
Hello.
Coach Sparks.
What's going on, man?
Doing good. How you feeling?
Doing good.
Good. You sound better than the last call we had.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what kind of Bluetooth.
Hey, you're loud and clear.
Yeah. How you feel, Coach? How y'all did practice today?
Doing good, man. Practice as well.
Good.
Hey, Coach.
Yep.
Who's your basketball team?
Basketball team. Well, now that I'm hearing the news that the Cavs are picking up D Wade, man, I'm getting excited about that.
Getting that bandwagon warmed up, ain't it?
You a Cavs fan?
I've been a Cavs fan since my cousin Larry Nance playing back in the 90s, man. So.
No.
Good man right here.
You can't say nothing. You a bandwagon Cavs fan.
Whoa.
He said he been with Cavs since the 90s.
Whoa.
He said he's a LeBron
I'm
fan.
a LeBron fan, though, so wherever LeBron is at, I will always be there. And LeBron has been on the Cavs twice.
But he said he been a Cavs fan since the 90s. That's when
doesn't matter.
blows up.
And right now, LeBron's there, so hey.
They were good. They just ran into the Bulls.
That's it, man.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Walk Ons.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having me.
The combination.
Yeah, last year when we played him, he hurt us with his arm. We really were able to bottle him up, per se, a little bit last year. And, he wasn't able to hurt us as much with his legs. He threw, I think, 3 touchdowns against us last year. So, he's going to make his plays. He's that type of player. But, you don't want to give up the big play against him. So, the game plan will be very similar to last year. Try to limit what he does in the leg and then be strong coverage-wise and not let him scramble around and, chunk the deep one on us.
Right. They've got Stephen Gilmore as well. That's a big-time wide receiver. Y'all going to have to be watching for him when they go to the air, I guess.
Yeah, him and another kid, 12, Scott Robinson, both of those kids, they trained at our school all off-season. So I know them very well, man, and great kids and great athletes. So, a team like that, they're going to be very well equipped. So everybody on our roster will get tested that's on the field Thursday night for sure.
What's up, Coach? This is Bryant. Call me Opie. My biggest thing is I know with stuff like this it comes down to the trenches, the D-line, the O-line, and mental. Going into it, I know you want to eliminate all turnovers so that you just keep it close. You never know what's going to happen, a fumble, a punt block, a field goal block. So, what is your mindset saying that you can get advantage in one of those areas that maybe can turn the tide and, keep it good in your favor?
Yeah, definitely, man. South Point's played, coming off a national schedule, playing Shelby up in North Carolina and Buford out of Georgia, and they have good players on their roster. But I think the one thing in our advantage, they haven't played a defensive line quite like ours yet. We have 2 big interior defensive linemen. One is Damian Daly, he's getting several Division I offers, and another kid is Montarius Jones, is going to be a solid FCS player, so he'll play on the 1AA level. And then we got two quicker, still big-sized kids playing the end position for us, and 2 sophomores, Patrick Jenkins and DeAndre Brown. So our defensive line matches up well with this type of team, and those guys give relentless effort every snap. So I'm excited to see that matchup. But like you said, the one game we lost this year, we just lost the turnover battle. We turned the ball over on offense, and that's not the way we want to play football. And it cost us, and luckily for us, it was able to cost us early in the season so we could teach from it and get better. But definitely, man, if we can win up front, protect the football, like I said, I think it'll be a pretty good game Thursday night.
Now, when you talk about playing a dual threat quarterback, and you've got 2 sophomores playing contain, what have you taught them about discipline and making sure they do hold contain against a guy that once he breaks out inside the pocket can make some serious plays?
Yeah, this week, those guys have had success this season batting a lot of balls down. So this week, you tell a young defensive lineman, don't worry about jumping and try to alter any balls. Run at him and break down, make him go side to side. And don't give up those inside running lanes once we get into pass coverage. And if you have to, leave your feet. Young kids don't like to dive anymore, especially defensive linemen. They want to run and just stick their arm out. But, our guys are going to be physical, man. Like I said, the relentless effort, goes down to having to leave your feet if you have to, just to try to slow them up and help the other guy make the tackle if you're not going to make the tackle.
Now, Coach, in your region, right now the standings are South Point 1, Richview 2, York, Arney, Westwood, and Lancaster. What can you say about your region? Of course, York is still the team they've been for the last few years. Yeah. Arney, they're in the rebuilding phase. Westwood is coming back from last year, and after they played Dutchford last week, and then Lancaster, they having a down year. So tell me about your region, about your preparations for region play starting on Thursday.
Yeah, you always set the gold standard at just being South Point from what they've done in the recent history. 3 state championships in a row is amazing. So you're always chasing South Point in your region. But then you got other good football teams. York, they played in the state championship, I want to say, was it 3 years ago now? And then you have Lancaster, who has one of my fellow alums under High, Bobby Collins, the head coach. So they're down now. They played a tough out-of-region schedule, but I'm sure they're going to rally together and get some region wins. And then you got, 2 local guys, but for us in Richland Northeast and Westwood that play good football, man. Both of those coaches are doing a great job, and their kids are going to be ready to play. So it's definitely a tough region. There's no games where you can just sit back and say, well, we got this one and look past for the next opponent. It's definitely a week-by-week basis, and you got to bring your A game every week in this region.
Coach, just talk to me about just building a program. And I see you're like 10-3 last year, another solid season this year. What does it take for Ridgeview to be a team to be contended with year in and year out?
Yeah, and our kids just really, really, really bought into, our dream. And my dream when I got there is just, feeling like you're good enough to be a championship program. Those kids, when we got them, they hadn't had a winning season in years, and they really just didn't know what it takes to win. So first step in that process was rebranding the program. We changed helmet colors and all this stuff, and got the best Nike uniforms they had to offer. And
it does look good, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Hey, by the way, can I get me a jersey when I come down Thursday? Prefer number 55.
We'll see what we can do, man. We want those kids. We want our kids to feel special, man. We want them to feel like they're in a college program, and we hold them to those expectations on a daily basis. And they've earned everything they got.
Hey, I'm serious about that number 55. I know you go around the question, but I'm just saying I want me some type of wear when I come down Thursday.
He's got a lot on his mind to worry about for Thursday night.
I see. What's his name? Bernard Hasten, tight end. He's a senior, but I get that from him. I'll talk to him later. So,
Bernard, I need that.
Yeah, Bernard, I need that back. We get that. So for your quarterback, Javon Anderson, tell me about his progress throughout the season. I know y'all started out the season losing to Sumter by a touchdown. Yeah. Y'all could easily be undefeated right now.
Oh,
but now y'all on a 4-game winning streak. Tell me about Javon Anderson and his progress throughout the season.
He's doing great, man. He's definitely a kid that I foresee having a Division I offer before the end of the season. Our goal from the season for him was for him to throw for 2,000 yards, and he's right on pace for that. We haven't had a 2,000-yard pass at Ridgeview probably in the last 10 years, so that's something that he can do. He's a dual-threat guy. He just doesn't know it. If you were to ask him, man, he's going to sit back there and try to throw that ball, but the kid can really run the ball when we need him to. So great kid. He's got like a 4.2 GPA. I mean, you can't say enough good things about him. He's a basketball guy.
4.2, wait a minute. On Thursday night, or did some of y'all?
No, yeah, we actually, our dialogue, I think I spoke with Jack Kinsey yesterday at WIS. Our dialogue with our team, and if there's ever something coming up, we're going to do more than just take a knee from a pledge. We would go out and try to help our community. If there's something we see needs to be done, we'll go out and try to inform people on why they need to vote. I think high school is one of the purest forms of football that's left. NCAA's got their money, hand in the money, and NFL has definitely got their hand in the money. So those are different platforms. Our platform would be number one, we're in the locker room anyway, so that never happens in high school. Mm-hmm. But if our captains are sent out there and it's the national anthem, our expectation is for our kids to stand up and honor the national anthem and have their mindset on the football game. We're not out there to make a statement in any kind other than to make our school proud and win a football game.
Sounds good. Rich, we'll be taking on South Point on Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. We'll be broadcasting live from the field, so make sure you tune in on Spreaker. That'll be the live broadcast, and then the pregame at 7 o'clock p.m. Coach Parks, we'll see you on Thursday night.
All right, Coach.
Good
luck, Coach.
It's time, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We come back on the Walk Ons. We'll have Keep It Real with Coach Fry. Of course, he's going to talk for a good time, so make sure you come back for that. All right. 3 calls in one night, huh?
Yeah, boy.
You already cut his time.
2.5 calls, maybe?
He ain't going to have another 7.5 minutes.
Hey, Coach Fry, who we got? Coach Fry?
Yeah, Coach Fry. I'll make sure let him know right now.
It'll be one question for him.
Might not get a question, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
He's got
He might just take it over, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Coach Fry.
Yes, up, man.
So, man, hey, just let you know right now, you got 7 minutes.
You ain't up.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about bowing down on our knees in the ball game. We're going to talk about Carolina winning in the last step of the ball game with one pass. We're going to talk about this week's ball game with Clemson playing Virginia Tech and Carolina going to Texas A&M.
All right. That's all we can squeeze out in 7 minutes. We'll be all right.
Gotta move quick.
Where my girl at?
Yeah, she's not here today. She had to do a function tonight.
That's why I ain't got but 7 minutes. Talk to me. Y'all talk about today.
Yeah, we talked about the knee at the beginning of the show, and then we talked to Coach Parks from Ridgeview. So we actually did 2 segments about the knee kneeling. So yeah.
Got it covered.
Well, I'm glad y'all addressing that. Is this going to affect the high schools?
No, absolutely not.
Coach just said they're in the locker room.
Yeah, actually, high school players, actually for college high school and college too, they stay in locker room.
Yeah,
so they get
and NFL used to do the same thing, like I said, until 9/11.
Yeah, 9/11 that's when I realized we was standing up. 'Cause I was like, I never really came. I didn't want to be there for the national. I stayed in the locker room. Like, that was a waste of time. I'm ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'll tell you, that may appear that way, but some way high school kids are going to get. It'll be on a basketball court. It'll be some kids that's going to wear an armband. No, it will happen a way for people to express their disappointment after they are exposed to they have the right and the freedom to express themselves. So it might not be at a football game bowing their knees, but that it will have to be dealt with. You can't avoid it. You can't pay them off.
Yeah, that's true. Welcome back to the Walk Ons.
All of us got a price.
Yeah, welcome
But anyway, what question you guys got for me?
Well, Coach, we got plenty of questions, but we're going to try to squeeze in everything. So tell me about your take about, I know we just had a brief discussion about that, but tell me about your take about the NFL and do you agree or disagree about what's going on?
I believe in freedom of speech. I don't believe in chaos or disturbance. I have uncles, and I got one that got killed at Pearl Harbor. My daddy didn't like people that were of Oriental descent. I think hatred is not good because it made his life on December 7th always miserable. I don't believe that anyone benefits from being unhappy or angry about other people expressing themselves. So eventually it harms the person who has the bitterness. So do I disagree? I agree that people should express their disappointment with the hostilities and the treatment of persons of color.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree because, a lot of stuff, a lot of people have their opinions, and same time, everybody has the entitlement of being right or being wrong. It's their prerogative. I'm not trying to be Bobby Brown, but, that's how they feel. That's how they're going to be. So we can't really say, hey, you need to believe what I believe in. If they believe that it's wrong, that they decide it's going to be wrong. I think, of course, media is going to explode it and say this person said this, and everybody's going to be like a trickle effect and, make everything seem like this is all on one person.
Here's something. Truth shall set you free. No matter how somebody believes something, that don't make it true. Mm-hmm. So it's not my time, but Martin Luther King said the truth. I mean that all people have a chance. People of color will have one day will see the promised land. In this world, all people eventually will be of color. Cause one drop of color blood make everybody of color. Is that deep enough for you?
Yeah. I think we in on that right there. Mm-hmm. We good.
Everybody's same color. They're color.
I mean, I saw on Facebook somebody put on 2 eggs. One was a white egg and one was a brown egg. And when you cracked it, it's the same yolk. Mm-hmm. So when I saw that, I was like, praise the Lord, hallelujah. It
gets no simpler than that.
You can't get no simpler than that.
One race, the human race.
You're mistreating anyone, you're mistreating yourself.
Pretty much. Let's talk about this this Clemson and Virginia Tech matchup. Coach
Hokies.
Yeah, well, I know you have an input about Clemson. Now, I'm more interested in seeing how this matchup goes. And I know I said it last time when Louisville played Clemson. But Virginia Tech, I think they have a legitimate chance of beating the Tigers this week. I really do.
And I remember that 35-21 Louisville prediction.
I can tell you there's nobody on that schedule going to come within 2 touchdowns of Clemson.
I like it.
I don't know, Coach, because,
the running back guy got hurt in the third quarter. Otherwise,
and Clemson had the best player on the field, Deshaun.
I just don't want to see it again. I don't want to see Clemson national championship or win the national championship.
Why you hate?
That's good. Because we got to catch up to them now.
Y'all done.
It's a wrap. And now people can't just play. Well, you know what? Unless that kid can pass, though, there's a problem here. Because you can't play
Hold on, Coach.
And a running back.
We'll be back next Tuesday. We'll see you next Tuesday. For Chris, you stay on the phone, Coach Rye. For everybody on the table, we'll see you next Tuesday. All right, Coach Rye. So we're still here. So you say that with their front, you said what again?
Well, you can put 8 in the box and play against Clemson because what they have is basically a triple option. They really hadn't proven that they got a passing game.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they look good against Louisville passing it. They had
Louisville don't have you can pass so if you don't know what they're doing. They didn't have any defensive.
They made JT Surratt from North Carolina look like an All-American.
Yes.
No defensive front. NC State has a defensive front that could create a football game.
What's that guy name?
Speaking of NC State,
Bradley Chubb.
Yeah,
Chubb is he's the top 10
logo.
So yeah,
Chubb look good. The one that spits on the logo. Yeah.
Hey man,
Hey, you don't like it? Don't lose at home.
There you go. I mean, everybody whoever beats Florida State at home, they just go all out. You saw what North Carolina did last year.
I'm interested. I might go up to the game. I'm not going to the game. I'm just gonna go up there and just be so I can say I was at the game. I'm just gonna go to somebody's house and watch the game or just tailgate.
You going to Hokie Land?
Yeah. I'm going back to my home.
I'm either going to have Virginia ham or turkey. I hadn't decided.
My 7 minutes out. I got to be out. I appreciate you guys.
All right.